This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Vegas, and so, with all the fanfare, controversy, and outrage that can be had, the 2019 Game Awards nominees were announced today by Jeff Keighley. And I have to say, the reaction has been quite entertaining, and this video should be quite entertaining as I'm going to give my opinions on what was nominated and what I feel will win, should win, so on and so forth. Now, I'm going to go from bottom to top because IGN basically starts out with the biggest categories. That's the list I'm using. So I'm going to try to remember to put the link in the description. You guys should be able to follow along and get a sense of what is on the list, just in case I might have glossed over something or missed something. So apologies in advance, especially since I'm going to start from the bottom to the top, because the bottom ones are pretty much the ones that I'm assuming they felt like people were less interested in. And then they started off with the biggest things, the things that I think that are going to generate the most conversation, that has generated the most conversation so far, to be quite honest, within the gaming community on the internet. So we have best esports hosts. Gonna say right offhand, I'm not too familiar with a lot of these people. I do recognize the name Golden Boy, but like, I believe this is Jokes or Skokes, SJOKZ. Apologies for butchering his tag. Machine, Red Eye, Golden Boy, Candace, those are the nominees. Not gonna get into that because I'm not that deep into esports to be knowledgeable on these people, so forgive me to all you esports fans or fans of these people in particular. All I can say is good luck to these people. Same with best esports coach. You have Adrian Kane, let me go back. Adrian of Team Liquid for CSGO, Kane from Team Liquid for League of Legends, Grabs from G2 Esports League of Legends, Como SK Telecom T1 League of Legends, Sochka, I believe. Again, forgive me for butchering the spelling. SOCKSHKA. From OG Dota 2. And then Zonic from Astro CSGO. Okay, again, good luck. Best esports event: the 2019 Overwatch League Grand Finals, Evo 2019, Fortnite World Cup, IM Catalyst 2019, League of Legends World Championship 2019, or the International. Those are the nominees for best esport event. Sorry, don't have much deep to say about that either. I did watch some Evo and stuff like that, and I think I caught a bit of the Overwatch and Fortnite stuff, but sorry, this is not my forte. I enjoy esports, but I'm not that invested in it. Alright, so I guess I'll continue on giving the impression that I'm shitting on something that millions of people are into, but I'm not. I'm just it's just not my thing. Anyway, best esports team: Astro for CSGO, G2 Esports for League of Legends, OG Dota 2 team, San Francisco Shock from the Overwatch League, and Team Liquid for CSGO. Good luck to you guys. Best esports player: Bugga from Immortals for Fortnite, Faker from SK Telecom for League of Legends, Perks from G2 Esports League of Legends, Simple from Natus Vincere CSGO, and Sinatra from the San Francisco Shock of Overwatch. Good luck to you. Moving on. Best esports game: Counter-Strike Global Offense. I'm surprised they put the whole thing out instead of just putting CSGO. By Valve, Dota 2 by Valve, Fortnite by Epic Games, League of Legends by Riot Games, and Overwatch by Blizzard. Kind of like a no-brainer, since these are, generally speaking, the top 5 esport games right now, I believe. As Fortnite has now become a big esports thing. You know, or at least 5 of the most recognized esports games. So, no shock to see that. Content Creator of the Year. You got Courage, Dr. Lupo, which I'm a fan of. I really do like Dr. Lupo. I love that guy's personality. So if I, even though this isn't a category I'm not overly invested in, I will say I want Dr. Lupo to win because I am a fan of his work. Ewok, Griff, and Shroud. Oddly enough, you don't have what's his name? I can't think of the guy who's extra popular that everybody like with the fake mustache and fake hair. And that shows you how much I care about him. He's rude all the time. You guys know who I'm talking about. Anyway, good luck to everybody. I've actually watched some Courage. Courage is cool too. The rest, but it would be cool if Dr. Lupo wins because I think he would give a very, very good and inspirational speech if he did. I think that would be a great moment for that show to have. All right, fresh indie game presented by Subway. I hate that they name it this just so they can tie it into a Subway promotion with the fresh shit. Subway, eat fresh, whatever. All right. ZAUM for Disco Elysium. Nevada Studio for Griff. I wonder why they put it backwards. Put the name of the game and then the studio. Dead Toast Entertainment for my friend Pedro. Mobius Digital for Outer Wilds. Mega Crit for Slay the Spire. And House for Untitled Goose Game. I think Outer Wilds probably will get that. Probably because of its popularity. Out of these. Best multiplayer game. Apex Legends. Respawn, EA Sports. See, this is what I mean. They put these in game name, then produce it. Whatever. Alright. Borderlands 3, Gearbox, 2K. Interesting. As it's more co-op multiplayer, I guess. I guess they're just mixing that with competitive. I don't know. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Infinity Ward, Activision, Tetris 99, Eureka, Nintendo, which is probably a surprise pick, and considering that a lot of people probably saw the idea and was like, what the fuck? And then when it hit big and was just like a smash. Out of nowhere success. I guess that's kind of the same thing you could say with Apex Legends. Nobody expected Respawn to do something that would be as well received as has been. Not saying that Respawn is a bad, game producer or anything, game developer, but just coming off of more quote unquote traditional things when they decided they were going to jump into this whole battle royale thing, everybody kind of was tentative about it, and now it's one of the more popular ones around. And last nominee for best multiplayer is Tom Clancy's The Division 2. Massive Entertainment, Ubisoft. Again, I find it interesting, especially even though it does have competitive multiplayer. It's more of a co-op game, but I guess they're just trying to incorporate both into the mix this year instead of individualizing it. Would surprise me if Apex doesn't win. I can't see anything on this list probably grabbing the attention that it has from the judges. Alright, best sports racing game. And this is a category that I have an issue and a bone to pick with, and I'm gonna pick it. Alright, so we have Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled by BNX Activision, Dirt Rally 2.0 Codemasters, eFootball Pro Evolution Soccer 2020, PS Productions, Konami, the only game that Konami seems to really make or care about anymore, F1 2019 by Codemasters, and FIFA 20 by EA Sports. Now, FIFA will probably win, even though Pro Evolutionary Soccer generally is the better gameplay-wise soccer game. But I have a bone to pick. Why isn't MLB The Show ever on these lists? I don't think I've ever recalled MLB The Show ever getting nominated. You'll see FIFA, you'll see Madden, you'll see NBA 2K, you know, games that probably shouldn't be there, you know, on a yearly basis, jump up and get there. You'll see some fresh faces and some, you know, well-deserved things like Pro Evolutionary Soccer, you know, the Dirt game, stuff like that. You never see MLB. And please don't tell me, well, it's a Sony exclusive, because Forza has been on this list several times, and that's a Microsoft exclusive. Exclusivity has clearly nothing to do with this. To be, I guess this is just my internal fan bias, but as someone who's played sports games, sports video games for, Jesus Christ, I'm old as fuck, over 3 decades now, I can't find a series that I could say is more solid year in, year out than the MLB series. There are some like issues with certain features and things like that. For the most part, it's a solid experience, especially in the career mode. Road to the Show is excellent. It never gets nominated, and I don't know why. It gets, maybe it's because it comes out so early in the year, but I feel like that's not an excuse, because I'm sure some of these games have come out well before the summer. I don't know. I just feel like it really deserves a lot more attention than it ever gets on a year-to-year basis. Maybe they're just tired of it being so solid. I don't know. But then you have FIFA, which, you know, hey, it is what it is. But FIFA's probably going to win. Best strategy game: Age of Wonders, Planetfall, Triumph Studios, Paradox, Anno 1800. I want to play this game really bad, by the way. Blue Byte, Ubisoft, Fire Emblem, Three Houses, Intelligent Systems, Koei Tecmo, Nintendo, Total War, Three Kings, Creative Assembly, Sega, Tropico 6, Limbic Entertainment, Calypso Media, and Wargroove by Chucklefish. I think Fire Emblem's probably going to get it. They tend to lean to the more popular of the things when they go through these. And it would be interesting because I hear Anno and Age of Wonders were pretty good in their own right. But yeah, I think Fire Emblem's going to get that. Best Family Game: Luigi's Mansion 3, Next Level Games, Nintendo, Ring Fit Adventure, Nintendo EPD, Nintendo, Super Mario Maker 2, Nintendo EPD, Nintendo, Super Smash Brothers. I say Super Mario because there's a lot of Mario shit on here. Super Smash Brothers, Ultimate, Bandai Namco, Sora, Nintendo, Yoshi's Craft World, Good Feel, Nintendo. Like I said, there's a lot of Mario shit on here. But pick your poison. I don't know how they say Smash is the best family game, because unless your family likes to like talk a lot of shit amongst each other as they whip each other's ass. So I guess that could bring the you know, I guess that brings them together. I don't know. Let's see. If I had a choice as... I know y'all heard that. That is crazy. I just got new neighbors and they're very, very loud. Anyway, sorry for the pause. I had my choice. I say Luigi's Mansion should get this. Next, and this is the category which Smash should probably favor heavily. Best Fighting Game: Dead or Alive 6 by Team Ninja, Koei Tecmo, Jump Force by Spike, Chunsoft, Bandai Namco, Mortal Kombat 11, NetherRealms, Warner Brothers, Interactive Entertainment, Samurai Showdown, SNK, Athlon, and then Super Smash Brothers. It's either Mortal Kombat or Smash Brothers. I think Smash Brothers is probably the more celebrated too, especially with Mortal Kombat having the weird stuff that happened with transactions and things like that, and that game mode where you could pay to unlock some stuff and all of that stuff. Yeah, they had some controversy that might kind of leave a sour taste in people's minds. Best RPG: Disco Elysium, Final Fantasy 14, Square Enix, Kingdom Hearts 3, Square Enix, Monster Hunter World, Iceborne, Capcom, The Outer Worlds, Obsidian, Private Division. Outer Worlds seems to be came out of nowhere, sorta. It's an Obsidian game. Obsidian games generally are popular, but I guess people expected the Fallout Legacy stuff to kick in, and it wasn't as buggy as normal. And people seem to really, really enjoy that game. Kingdom Hearts 3, I think, oddly enough, fell short of expectations of everybody except for the most true diehard fans. Final Fantasy 14 is still going strong. Monster Hunter World is still going strong with the expansion. But I think the Outer Worlds has this category. Best action adventure game: Borderlands 3, Control, Remedy, 505 Games. And here we go. This is where we get to the heart of the matter, people. Death Stranding, Kojima Productions, Sony Interactive Entertainment, Resident Evil 2, Capcom, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, Grizo, Nintendo, and Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, FromSoft, Activision. I guess it's too light for adventure games this year. I can't think of, and it's funny because the thing I hate about award shows is that award shows always come out at the wrong time. This is like with the Oscars. Oscars cover such a weird thing from March the previous year until February or January the following year. So there's some stuff that gets missed in February, early March of the actual year it happens, or stuff like that. It's just it's a weird gray period where you might miss some stuff, like how Get Out didn't get nominated. A lot of people got upset, but it was Get Out actually came out after they had pretty much did the whole thing. That's why you saw, I think, Get Out show up the following year. It's just a weird thing. And it's why you see things like Final Fantasy 14 and all that kind of still maybe be able to come back around. Maybe. I don't know. But needless to say, these are the 6 nominees for Best Action Adventure. And a lot of people are howling mad, of course, at Death Stranding because of the controversial reviews that it's gotten and the mixed opinion that it garners. Control was a surprise. And of course, Resident Evil was very celebrated, but I've seen people voice their displeasure that a remake, even though they redid the entire thing to modernize it, should never be put on the list. Sekiro was another surprise hit. I gotta tell you, if I was going by fairness, I'd say Sekiro should win this. But I gotta tell you, you might see Kojima up on that stage, people. And it ain't the only time you might see Kojima up on that stage. We ain't done yet. Alright, so, Best Action Game: Apex Legends, Astral Chain by Platinum Games, Nintendo, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Devil May Cry 5, Capcom, Gears 5 by the Coalition, Xbox Game Studios, and Metro Exodus, 4A Games, Deep Silver. I don't think Apex should be put on here simply because of its just being a multiplayer only game. So I feel like it might end up with an unfair advantage over the rest, when you could probably make a case for Gears or Devil May Cry or Astral Chain. as being the front runner. So Apex might get it because of its sheer popularity, which I don't think it should be on here. Best VR AR games: Asgard's Wrath, Censor Games, Oculus Studios, Blood and Truth, Sony Interactive Entertainment, London Studios, Sony Interactive Entertainment, Beat Saber by Beat Games, No Man's Sky by Hello Games, and Trover Saves the Universe Squanch Games. I'm not familiar with a lot of these, but I hear Beat Saber is a really, really good one. I've heard people rave about it, so it wouldn't surprise me if that wins. Same thing with Trover Saves the Universe. I've heard good things about that as well. Best community support: Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Bungie, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Epic Games, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Siege, Ubisoft Montreal, Ubisoft. If Fortnite get it, I wouldn't be mad, only because y'all are some obsessed motherfuckers with that game. Like, the fact that people were sitting there staring at that fucking black hole for days waiting for the launch of the next episode of Fortnite, crazy. Being a Destiny player, a lapsed Destiny player, I must say, sorry, Destiny community. Destiny community is definitely pretty loyal and standard. As all these games are, but I give it to Fortnite just because y'all are wild. Y'all are like, whoa, y'all are fucking wild. y'all really are into that shit. Like, the fact that people are getting suspended in school and getting in trouble because they're just so obsessed with that whole thing. Maybe that shouldn't be celebrated because it sounds like it's a drug or anything, but people support that game like crazy. So, hey, it's okay to reward the community for their loyalty, and then get them some therapy later. Anyway, best mobile game: Call of Duty Mobile. I gotta say, I play that shit. That shit's fun. Grindstone. Call of Duty Mobile. Teamy Studios, Activision. Grindstone. Capybara Games. Sayonara Wild Hearts. Zamago. Annapurna. Sky Children of Light. That Game Company. And What the Golf. Fryblad. I hear What the Golf really, really good. I'm not familiar with everything else on the list except for Call of Duty Mobile. That, again, I play it probably because the only first-person shooter I'm kind of decent at, and I'm about to get lapped because I haven't played in weeks, and I know everybody's like built up their fucking loadouts and shit, and just gonna smash my ass. Oh my god. Anyway, best independent game: Baba Is You, Himpuli, Disco Elysium, Katana Zero, ASCII Soft, Devolver, Outer Wilds, and Untitled Goose Game. I think Outer Wilds is probably going to get this one. Best ongoing game: Apex Legends. And the fun is a weird thing, but hey, I mean, this is the way the games are now. Anyway, you get a lot of these games that are life games, like Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. When I say life games, I mean they persist within your life for as long as possible. They don't just, it's like, hey, that was a great time you had with Horizon Zero Dawn. Sure, you can go back to it, but once you beat it, it's kind of like, okay, I've had the experience, and I would just go back just to see it again, but not to have it develop and grow with me. That's what I mean by a life game. So it's gonna be Fortnite, I'm sure. Games for Impact: Concrete Genie, Pixelopus, Sony Interactive Entertainment, Grizz, Nomada Studios, Evolver, Kind Words, Pop Cannibal, Life is Strange 2, Don't Nod, Square Enix, Sea of Solitude, Jome Games, and EA. Here's Sea of Solitude is pretty solid. I want to play Concrete Genie. I heard that's a really like cute game. I think Sea of Solitude might win that one from the response that I've gotten about it. Best performance. Hi. Ashley Birch as Parvati Holcomb, The Outer Worlds. Courtney Hope as Jess Phaeton, Control. Laura Bailey as Kate Diaz, Gears 5. Mads Mikkelsen as Cliff, Death Stranding. Matthew Peretta as Dr. Casper Darling, Control. And Norman Reedus as Sam Porter, Bridges, Death Stranding. Now, I hear Mads Mikkelsen's performance is like top, which is Mads Mikkelsen. Mads Mikkelsen is awesome. I hear Norman Reedus, who's also good. I hear it's not that great, but it's on here. So, hey. It's going to be Mads or Norman. We know this. And I think it should be Mads. If you're going to have to go the Death Stranding route, you got to go with Mads, I think. Alright. Whew, here we go. We're getting deep into the weeds now, folks. So, best audio design. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Control, Death Stranding, Gears 5, Resident Evil 2, and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. By the way, if you notice I'm not reading the studios, anything that repeats, I don't read the studios, so you don't know. Everybody keeps talking about how great that music is in Death Stranding, though. Yo, this game might end up breaking a record for this award show, because we ain't done yet. But yeah, best score, music, Cadence of Hyrule, Brace Yourself Games, Nintendo, Death Stranding, Devil May Cry 5, Kingdom Hearts 3, Sayonara Wild Hearts. Again, I hear the music kick ass. Death Stranding. I'm sorry, this is starting to get funny to me. Because again, we ain't done yet. Best art direction, Control, Death Stranding. See a pattern here developing also, folks? Grizz, Sayonara Wild Hearts, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. Woo! Oh man, Kojima and Jeff Keighley, the love affair. Although I will say this, to be fair, things like best score, best audio design, best direction, best art direction, I could see them picking that because Kojima definitely does overindulge in that stuff and tries to make a very Hollywood quality sort of experience with things like that, which would warrant the game, despite how you feel about how it is as a game, to be in these categories that I'm currently reading. So keep that in mind. Best performance including, because it's about the person, it's not necessarily about the game itself. And he has some very top tier, talent in his game. So let's be fair in that. But here's where you may not want to get fair with him, and I'm not going to argue anything. Best narrative: A Plague Tale: Innocence, Asobo: Focus Home, Control, Death Stranding, Disco Elysium, and The Outer Worlds. If you're into Kojima storytelling, you probably think that narrative is the best. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna move on. Especially since I haven't played any of those games to tell you what the best narrative is. But best game direction: Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, and Outer Wilds. So Kojima, may get a Best Director award for the Academy Awards of Gaming. One step closer to the Hollywood aspirations, ain't it? And side note, I got a lot of buzz about the Resident Evil 2 thing, and a lot of people having problems with this being nominated in a lot of ways, and especially for the next category. Game of the Year, the final category: Control, Death Stranding, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and The Outer Wilds. Now, it seems like there have only been 5 or 6 games released all year, like maybe 10 tops, because you get a hell of a lot of repeat on this list. The Outer Worlds, Sekiro, Super Smash Bros., Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2 make a lot of appearances throughout this list. I believe Death Stranding had the most nominations out of all games. I guess to the surprise of no one, with Control following, and I believe Resident Evil 3 followed after that. But yeah, it seems like this year in gaming seems more thin by these, and I feel like there's been a lot more out there, but the like super focus just seems to, from these awards, seems to be on those games. Of course, keep in mind this is the year before a console launch, so you tend to get a thinner pool of games, so that could attribute to it. But a lot of people are howling mad over Death Stranding because of, again, go back to the mixed reviews, go back to the mixed response by people who like actually played it independently, and not just to review it. You know, it's not received like the warmest welcome. But you got the Kojima stands and people who swear by it. You got some people who were pleasantly surprised by it. You got those who were looking for it and disappointed. And you got just the like straight up haters. You got like a whole spectrum up and down of opinions on this. And it's going to be wild if this game actually does end up being Game of the Year. Because like I hear Control's like a really pleasant surprise. Super Smash Brothers, we all know that's it. People are very, very upset again at Resident Evil 2. The whole remake thing bothers a lot of people. They don't feel like a game that had already been previously released and now has been re-released, even though it's been kind of rebuilt from the ground up to be a more modernized version of the game. To that I say this. We have probably seen, and I can't think of anything offhand, but we've probably seen movies that were remade or that were retooled. Like, I believe The Departed is a retooled movie from a Japanese film. That basically they just changed the setting and the characters, but it's generally the same story. And I forget the name of the Japanese movie, but things like that. We've seen stuff like that happen in Hollywood. So is it a surprise that it's happening in games now? I don't have like a problem with that. Now, if you were to like say like the year the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One came out, and we got the announcement that Grand Theft Auto, like we did, was coming to those consoles. Now, if they would have put Grand Theft Auto 5, I think the Grand Theft Auto 5, if they would have said Grand Theft Auto 5 that following year, or what have you, was on the list for Game of the Year, yeah, I'd have a problem with that, because you just basically just took a game that came out a year ago on console and then already got nominated and threw it back up there again. That would be fucked up. You know, stuff like that. Last of Us Remastered. That would bother me. Collections and stuff like that, like Bioshock 2 collection. Bioshock collection. That would bother me. But this, they actually did really put some like work in. That's why it's on Best Game Direction and all that, because they retooled it to modernize it and bring it to 2019. So I have no problem with that. They told a 2019 version of a story. That's all. Sekiro is all over the place, but it was a very big surprise for a lot of people. People really like that. Outer Wilds, another one. The same as Super Smash Brothers. I'm not surprised it's all over the spectrum either. Control was probably the biggest surprise because I'd heard some really I heard people like thinking that Remedy wasn't going to be able to do it again, and Remedy proved them wrong. You know, not saying they're saying it's the most solid game in the world, but people were very pleasantly surprised by that. So I'm fine with the Game of the Year list for the most part. And, you know, I think the Death Stranding thing, I don't think it just bothers us because the reviews were shaky. But Jeff Keighley, at least from my point of view, Jeff Keighley's involvement in the whole production in the game, his open infatuation and obsession with Kojima kind of like sours it in a way when you think about it, because it's like, yo, you kind of like have lent yourself to be called a very unbiased element in this whole mix, and for the game to get the, you know, controversial response that it did, the shakiness, you know, people not being completely sure on it, sold on it, a lot of people being down on it, you know, just the all over the place nature of its reception. Like, are you really thinking that this is one of the better games that were made this year, or was it already preordained? Because again, this game hasn't been out before, what, a couple of weeks? It's been reviewed weeks before that, but I don't even think it's been 2 weeks yet at the time of this recording. Yeah, like, it's really, really, really skeptical. It feels like you were going to put it on there no matter what. So, I don't know. And I can see people being upset, why people would be upset about this. But yeah, those are your Game Awards 2019 nominees. It's going to be interesting because, like, again, stuff like game direction, narrative, art direction, score, audio, best performance. I can see people making an argument for those things when it comes to Death Stranding. I think best adventure game and best game of the year are going to be really, really hard pills to swallow for a lot of people who just feel like there's nothing about that game that's appealing from, like, if you just look at it from a game aspect. I think a lot of people would admit that there's a lot of artistic value to it, because Kojima always has that, you know, the way he does things. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I hope Keighley has the guts to give it Game of the Year, like, just to usurp everyone. Even if you find out, like, yeah, the judges didn't vote it Game of the Year, but Keighley was like, fuck you, I'm making it because I love this man and he's gonna win it. I just want to see it happen, because I want to see if the crowd's going to respond in a negative way. I want to see what would happen if Kojima actually came up and, like, did a fucking, like, speech. I want to see all that. I want to see the drama. I want the smoke. I want all the smoke to come to Jeff Keighley and Kojima right now. Like, not out of hate, but just to see, like, how they react to it. And I just want the fiasco. That's all. Nothing personal against them, but I just want to see the fiasco go down. But there you have it. Those are your Game Awards 2019 nominees. You guys, after sitting here for 40 minutes, I appreciate you listening to me babble on about this stuff. You're wonderful. You're great. Love you all. Now weigh in. Give me your opinion. What do you think was missed? What do you think should have been nominated for what? What do you think shouldn't have been nominated at all? I mean, besides the obvious, Death Stranding is going to be. And for those of you who don't like the whole remake being on the list thing, okay, those are the two obvious. Take those two out of your equation and tell me what you think should be on, should be off, what should win what. I'm very, very curious to know what your guys' opinion is. So, with that being said, as always, you guys, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you later. This your boy Blak Megas, and I'm out. Deuces.